There's one thing that every student should do after every exam paper they sit, essay they write, or assignment they complete. Now I warn you, it's not glamorous and it can sometimes actually be downright depressing, but it can also be really exciting and revelationary. It all depends on how your team decides to look at it and what perspective they take on it. Because this is something that the best students do. And it's something that I still see so many students not doing. Now, I totally understand why that is, but by not doing it, it really means they're missing out on a huge practical and specific learning opportunity that they can apply in all of their future assessments. Now, this one thing is reviewing and dissecting in detail the feedback and grade they get systematically when it's handed back. So let me backtrack a little and break it all down. Firstly, it sounds simple, but here's why so many students don't do this. Reason number one, it's that they just don't see the point. If they got a good result, then they're happy and they just want to bask in that glory for a little while. They don't see the need to necessarily go back with a fine-tooth comb because they see it as, well, I did well and I got a good result, so why do I need to? Of course, the whole point in this case is that we want to identify why they did well so that they can replicate that in the future. Plus, we do still want to identify any areas where there could still be improvement because, of course, when we think about it, what gets them an A or a B or whatever grade they were happy with in one particular year or even semester won't still get that grade in the next year group or whatever follows as they move up. Reason number two might be that they got a disappointing or not so great result and they just don't want to dwell on it. And I get that. Why would we want to spend even more time and effort on something we've already given quite a lot of that to then focus in on the things that are the reason we got that poor result? Ugh, I get it. But of course, that's exactly what we need to do. It's one of the key ways we can ensure that we improve on it next time. That's what I meant when I said it can be a little bit painful or depressing. But students have to focus on the positives of this exercise, of how, if they'd changed this or left that part out or added in this instead, then it would have achieved this particular criteria because of this, this, or this. Yes, as always, there is a systematic way to do this. Which leads us to, reason number three. Maybe they don't know how to do it, how to review and dissect their work in detail. Maybe they don't really understand what the teacher means in the feedback they've been given, or maybe they know what it means, but they don't really know how they'd actually act on it. For example, I had a great email from a parent recently where they'd had multiple teachers comment on their teen's work over time along the lines of, okay, she needs to expand her writing. And this parent and the teen were like, well, okay, but how do I actually do that? And what does that really mean? So obviously I explained to them what that means, how precisely it could be done. But perhaps it's maybe just the case as well that there's very little teacher feedback on a student's response. Or just as frustrating is when students aren't allowed to keep their work, to be able to review it. And in this case, your team needs to be ultra proactive. They need to go and ask the teacher to sit with them for 10 minutes and review it with them. So I get it. There are a lot of reasons why students are put off from or struggle to do this. But when they do a systematic review, it's a fantastic way to stop making the same mistakes again and again, and to be able to find ways to level up their answers and responses in future. I'm Katie Price, grade transformation expert, and if you'd like me to help your team dissect an essay or assignment or exam question that they've had returned, then feel free to send it through to me. If they're in any of my memberships or trainings, then I'll be able to work on it with them. And even if they're not, then I might just be able to use it as a case study or an example video. So if you'd love to have me review it with them, then if I can use it in that way, then please do share it. If you know anyone else who would also benefit from this video, then please go ahead, share it with them. And until next week, let's make this a fantastic week.